What's going on YouTube? It's Tyler from Mission VR, where it's my mission to bring you guys good quality VR content. So first and foremost, thank you guys so much. Over 1,000 subscribers, and I've been growing pretty rapidly, which is pretty exciting, and getting a lot of nice comments. I appreciate all that. It's definitely nice to see the hard work I'm putting in paying off, and I'm continuing to enjoy bringing you guys good content, and today is definitely going to be no exception. We're going to have a great video about the upcoming Decagear VR headset. Yes, a new VR headset that was announced pretty recently and is getting a lot of buzz in the VR community, and quite frankly, there's a lot of crazy things going on around it. And yes, I'm not going to lie to you, I did already pre-order the headset, which I'm pretty excited about, and maybe, fingers crossed, they will be fortunate enough to send me a pre-production model. We will see. I don't know. I'm not a huge YouTuber yet, trying to get there, so definitely hit the like and subscribe button. Maybe I'll be able to get a pre-production unit from them. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, I did already pre-order the headset, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a bunch of information regarding it and really what I think and what I feel about this headset. So we're going to be talking about the specs, we're going to be talking about the developers, and we're going to be talking about my final verdict in today's video. So if you have not liked and subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so now. I bring a ton of VR content. I bring in a video at least one or two videos a week. Go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel, and let's go ahead and hop on into this video. So first and foremost, we want to start with the specs of this headset. Are we going to be getting something that's a little bit more like the Oculus Quest 2, the HP Reverb, or something entirely different? And honestly, I have to say, based on the specs and what's on paper, it definitely looks like this is going to be a full-fledged PC VR experience that's going to be pushing the boundaries of what VR currently is. Maybe a little bit closer to an HP Reverb / Valve Index. It looks like the next generation of kind of these two headsets combined with the best of both worlds incorporated. So yes, it's going to be a 2K times 2K screen, which ends up equaling 2160 by 2160 pixels per eye, which is the same as the HP Reverb, which is incredibly high in the graphics quality, and that is going to be immensely better than most of the standard VR headsets that are out today, with the exception of the Quest 2, which, its pixels are getting up there pretty high, but not as high as this. It's also going to feature a 90 Hz refresh rate with 2 LCD screens, which is really a nice feature. And because it has the 2 screens, we are going to get IPD adjustment, which is also, again, something that is very important to some people that may have wider or closer set eyes. They're going to be able to adjust the screens to fit their eyes appropriately. Now, one of the big things for me that I was really excited when I was reading through this and combing through all the information and all the different MRTV, interviews and all that stuff was the actual field of view of the headset. I think that, it's not a major thing, but I think the wider the field of view gets, suddenly you start to lose the black edges on the edge of the headset, which could definitely drop you into that immersion factor just a little bit more, which in my opinion is kind of the reason why you're playing virtual reality. And this is pretty exciting because right now it's set at 114 degrees, which is pretty standard, but they are really, really, really working on getting it up to 120 to maybe 125 if they can pull it off, which again is very exciting because even that little 10 degree, 15 degree difference can make a world of difference whenever you are fully immersed into a video game. And not only that, this headset is also boasting facial tracking, so you can now track expressions via 2 cameras that they're going to have, one inside the headset, which is going to be tracking your eyes, and then one outside the headset, which is going to be tracking your mouth, which is pretty cool. And definitely it'll be interesting to see how virtual reality games in the next coming years implement this feature, especially if this headset gets pretty big, which so far it's looking like this is going to be a pretty large, bought headset. So also, I think that, one of the cool things about this headset and with the specs of it is that, you're going to get these controllers which are going to map your fingers. So they are definitely a little bit more of the Oculus style controller rather than the Valve style, but they're going to be doing all the things the Valve Index controllers do, which is going to be tracking your hand movements, and the grip button is actually a pressure sensor, so when you actually go to squeeze your hand, you're going to be able to grab objects in the VR world, which is definitely going to add that little extra bit of immersion. And I think that this was one of the things that I was actually moments away from pre-ordering an HP Reverb G2, but I wasn't a huge fan of inside-out tracking, and I also really, really wanted the Index controllers. Well, this headset came out, announced the stuff, I did some digging on it, and now I'm definitely going to go with this headset, and that's why I pre-ordered it, because it not only gives me that finger tracking controllers, but also goes for the fact that I'm going to have the pixel quality that is going to be with an HP reverb with the screen that is on this headset. So definitely pretty cool. Now, one of the things that I wasn't so high on and really what was making me hesitate buying the HP reverb was inside-out tracking. I personally am not a huge fan of inside-out tracking. Do I think it's the end of the world? No. Is it game-breaking? Absolutely not. You know, a lot of the headsets now feature inside-out tracking. It's definitely a convenience thing. But this headset also has inside-out tracking, which is something that, you know, at first I was like, I guess I could do without that. But for all the other things I'm getting with this headset, I'll live with it. But actually, after watching the MRTV, you know, interview with the developers, they've pointed out some really interesting features. And one of those is the fact that the way their cameras are angled and the way that the LEDs that are tracked in the virtual world have been placed on the controllers basically eliminates occlusion, which is definitely a, you know, problem with inside-out tracking is sometimes you lose controllers, you know, whenever you have them stacked on each other, whenever you're two-handing weapons or, you know, this or that. So it's definitely an interesting thing, but the camera placement allows for, you know, much more precision, and the way that they've actually built the controllers is going to allow for definitely much more precision. And I think this is definitely a nice feature, and if they can pull this off right, they can definitely change people's minds about inside-out tracking. I know I will be one of them, and I will definitely be testing that out once I get the headset. One thing I, you know, am definitely in love-hate about with it is that also the controllers have a, you know, they're charged with a USB, which is something that, yeah, they could die if you're in the middle of playing a long game session, and that's definitely not, you know, the greatest thing, but also, you know, battery packs also have their fair share of problems as well. So I guess I'm not going to complain too much about this. It'll be fine. You know, you're going to get probably about 8 hours in a play session out of controllers, and if you're playing VR for 8 hours straight, that's pretty impressive as it is. So again, and then, you know, other cool things that this headset's boasting about specs-wise is that you're going to get a Deca Move is what they're calling it, and it's actually a hip tracker, which is really an interesting feature if you think about it, because think about how many sword games you play where, you know, your character moves based on the left touch controller's joystick, whether you're moving back, forward, sideways, and if you're two-handing swords or, you know, dual-wielding swords, and I find this to be much more prevalent in sword games rather than gun games, but, you know, you find it difficult to move around because you're swinging that left hand and, you know, you're all over the place. Well, this hip tracker is now going to make it so that wherever the hip sensor is placed at, that's going to be your forward direction. So you'll be able to swing your arms and turn your head no matter which way, but it's always going to know which way is forward based on your hips, which actually I never even thought about, but that is a very innovative way to deal with something that's pretty minor in my opinion, but also definitely something that can be a little bit of a nuisance when it comes to playing in virtual reality. And I think that this headset definitely has some excellent specs going for it. And on paper, this headset definitely looks like it could be the real deal and the next, you know, big virtual reality headset. So the next area I really want to talk about whenever discussing this Decagear VR headset is actually the developers themselves. And for me, this is a huge, big upside because, quite honestly, I don't like Facebook as a company. I'm really not a big fan of Microsoft either. And I think that, quite honestly, those companies are so large that, yeah, they bring out a good product. They do, absolutely. But where are they at when it comes to really bearing in on getting the user the best possible VR experience that they can have? Quite honestly, I can tell you straight up, Facebook does not care. I had a problem with my Oculus Rift CV1 a while ago. I actually had two Oculus Rift CV1s. My other one's cable got chewed up by my dog, and I reached out to them to get a new cable, and they basically told me that I can go kick rocks because, you know, that headset's no longer supported. And that was only like, I think, a year and a half to 2 years after that headset was released. I mean, it was relatively within several months of the Rift S coming out, and I just felt that was a really crappy move that you just don't care about your community at all. These are a small business team. It's a small business, and these guys are super VR enthusiasts. It's not a large group of guys. They've got good backing from investors, but ultimately, this headset is coming from a small group of VR enthusiasts that are definitely going to do everything they can to push the boundaries of virtual reality within reason. You can tell just by watching the MRTV interview that he did that these guys are super passionate about their product, and I love that about that. I think that that's going to be a much better experience. You know, the people that actually do buy this headset, you know, if they reach out and say, hey, look, I got a problem, they're not going to want their brand new brand to be tainted by bad reviews or poor customer experience. And I think that this is definitely something you have going for this work. Quite honestly, if somebody buys a Rift S and it doesn't work out of the box, I'm sure, yeah, Facebook will work with you. But at the end of the day, is their revenue really going to be hurting because you're never going to buy a Facebook product again or an Oculus product again? No, they really don't care. These guys are definitely going to take your best interest at heart, and I think that is really an amazing statement coming from the VR community. I think it's a very important thing. Also, on top of that, these guys are very adamant about their price. They don't want an $800, $900 headset hitting the market, even though they said that they probably could sell it for that, but they're making their brand an affordable brand to get more people into VR, and I love that approach. They even said it, affordable price is going to be their brand statement, and I love that. I think that they are going to be very open. They have been very open about they're going to be posting all their components, everything, because people just quite frankly can't believe that this headset with this kind of specs has, is going to be sold for $449. And, as of right now, those that pre-ordered have locked in that price. If it does go up, they said it won't go up by much, if at all. And I love that, the openness that they're definitely communicating with the community. And I think this is a big plus. I think this is absolutely something that is understated, whenever you're buying a product like this, is what company are you buying it from? Are they really actually going to care about you? And is it worth, investing in them the way they're going to, their product's going to really be played out with you. So I definitely think this is a big plus for these guys over there developing the Decagear VR headset. So lastly, what's my verdict on everything that I feel has come out about this headset? Obviously, I pre-ordered the headset. So yes, I guess I could say that I'm maybe jumping the gun just a little bit. But I will be honest with you, I was in the market for a new VR headset anyways, and I was about ready to buy the HP Reverb, and I figured I'll wait a couple months, and worst case scenario, if, other people, maybe myself, maybe I'll get a headset to test out for all you guys, and if not, okay, I will definitely do my research and figure out who does have one and follow it closely. But, if it is a garbage headset, whenever it does hit, consumers' hands, then I will know and I will not buy it. But for right now, for only $10 to lock in a pre-order for potentially the headset that's going to take the next steps, I'm absolutely all in on that. And like I said, I was already in the market for a new VR headset. I was going to buy the HP Reverb G2. That's $600. This headset's, $150 cheaper than that. And it's boasting all the features that I want, including the, index style controller. So for me, this is definitely a pre-order and I'm pretty excited about it, but also my circumstances are slightly different than everybody else's. I'll definitely be getting more information on this headset as the months go on here, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be able to get my hands on a pre-production model. We will see. You guys can help me out with that by subscribing to my channel. So the more subscribers I get, hopefully I'll be able to get that headset. Looking forward to that. But ultimately, I do think this is going to be an awesome headset. I'm really excited to find out more about it. And these guys are super passionate about moving the VR community in the forward direction. And if you guys are interested in watching the whole 2-hour interview with MRTV, head on over to MRTV's channel. Most of you guys probably follow him anyways, but head on over to his channel, check out the full 2-hour interview. But I pretty much summed up everything that they talked about within detail of that video in this video. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Well guys, that is it for this video. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you stick around, subscribe to my channel, join the Discord server. I'm doing a ton of stuff with the VR community in there, playing Population 1, playing some Phasmophobia, just playing games with people that join, that are enthusiastic and looking for players to play with in VR. So definitely join the Discord server, subscribe to my channel. I'm bringing a ton of VR news and other VR related content, such as game reviews and, just stuff that you guys are looking forward to. So definitely subscribe to this channel. I'll be bringing any news I get about the Decagear VR headset onto this channel. So make sure you subscribe, like it, and I will see you guys on the next one.